Hi guys, welcome into Type Talk Tuesday. This is the channel where we talk about personality typing with spiritual understanding. So today one of the things we are going to talk about, is ugly fighting while on vacation. How many of you have ever had a knockdown, drag out, ugly fight with your partner on vacation? Raise your hand. Okay. I have. The ugly fighting was so bad, it was like, pack the bags, I'm divorcing your ass, I'm out. So these things happen, and I work in a world where, for so many years, for decades actually, where as a marketer and a public relations professional, I was the one painting these perfect scenarios. And if you look at my Instagram post yesterday, it's like Instagram, at Nina Zapala. But if you look at my post was perfection. It is not a thing, because I don't believe it to be a thing. And I believe we've been conditioned, the tourism industry has conditioned all of us that when we go on vacation, everything's going to be perfect. Well, travel is so far from perfect. I mean, there's a hiccup around every corner, right? But I think that's what makes it so grand if we look at it from a transformational, true self perspective. Because in those moments of unknowing and unseeing, we are charged with a new belief, right? So interesting. It takes us out of our comfort zones and brings us transformative moments of great growth, moments of understanding, moments of compassion. So when you travel with a loved one, if you're taking a romantic vacation this summer, and I'm sure a lot of you are, I think one of the things that I really would like for you to do before you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on booking that vacation, taking the vacation and coming home and go, this wasn't really that much fun for me. You know what? Because you miss the essence of your true self in considering your travel needs. Like with everything in life, your personality is the main character. It's the star of your life. So if you're going on vacation, not knowing your traits, how you take in information, here again, I'm going to talk about choices, how you make choices. What do you define as the perfect, ideal vacation? See, I said perfect. Ding, just checking to see if you're listening. So what do you define as an ideal vacation for you? If you visualize the vacation of your dreams, what are you visualizing? Right? So I go into some tips about this because as an introvert, you're not going to want to go to a place where they're having a lot of these festivals and it's crazy busy and the streets are packed and the restaurants are packed. There's lines to get in everywhere. You're just not going to dig that. It's not your scene. But if your spouse, on the other hand, is an extrovert, they're going to be like, yippee, yahoo, let's do that. And you're going to be like, oh, crap. Really? I'm not doing that. And then this argument ensues. It was really funny. I saw Brene Brown on Netflix, right? And they're going to Disney. They're taking their kids. They're going to Disney. They're packing their suitcases. And Brene is like packing all these books, and her husband looks over and goes, what the hell are you doing? She goes, I'm packing the books. I'm going to catch up to read, And he goes, we're going to Disney. You're not reading, That's a typical, I don't know if he's an extrovert, but that's a pretty close exchange between somebody that's more outwardly oriented to the world, an extrovert, and somebody that's introverted that wants to just go, relax, sit by the pool, grab a cocktail or their favorite beverage, and read a good book. And then when it gets hot, you dip in, you dip out, you go, right? Can you just see, just your traits are so opposite of one another, typically. But when they are, you have to understand that this person sees things very differently than what you see things. So if you want to take a vacation and be in harmony with each other and be compassionate and be relaxed and be in peace with the whole thing, it's really a study of knowing somebody's traits. So like I said, before you book that vacation, before you go ahead and plunk the thousands of dollars down to do whatever you're going to do, it's very wise that you take some time to learn about your personality type, your personal reality. Have you ever defined your ultimate vacation experience? Have you ever talked about that with your spouse, with your partner? Have you ever even talked about it? Sorry for the sirens. I just live on a street that it's a cut through for the hospital, so thank you. Just say a prayer that they're safe. No, but you have to talk about these things. And I make it sound like, oh yeah, just have a talk. Well, the thing is, here's the hitch, right? It's because we're all so conditioned in our minds of all these beliefs that we've had in our lives, right? Beliefs that have come from childhood, beliefs that have come from previous relationships, beliefs from society and cultural expectations. And in this case scenario, marketing expectations conditioned into us by the tourism industry. It's just what it is, and we buy it hook, line, and sinker. Oh, I know I could do that. They're the experts. They're telling me I should do that. Well, that's a bunch of, I'm going to call bullshit on that. That's not right. It's not true. Quit believing all that. It's not true. What you need to believe in is your true self. You need to find your true self. So when you're having these conversations, first have the conversation. And then if you start having these conversations and you feel yourself pleasing or giving your power away or just saying yes because you just don't want to have the argument. You're like, it's just easier just to say yes and not have the argument than saying, no, I think this. Because it's what we're conditioned to do. You may have been conditioned to do. Right? But see, what happens is when you get on vacation and you've done all that pleasing, you've given your power away, you just said yes, your vacation becomes a very mundane, uneventful, not very happy experience. When vacation is a time when you're alive and your true self is just out in the world and you're just experiencing yourself without the filters from the daily life. Travel is one of the best times for personal growth and transformation. But if you're relinquishing your desires and wants and needs to somebody else because you think that'll make them happy, that'll make them love you more, that'll make them accept you, that's where you belong, those are very conditioned aspects of ourselves. That's conditioned love. We want to reverse all that to unconditional love. That's why I keep on talking about personality typing with a spiritual understanding. Because if you go about your life thinking this is how it is, that's not true. That's not the truth. You've been conditioned to believe that's how it is. Because there's always something behind that. And I'm not saying it's bad, because there's a need. I'm not saying, don't believe anything, but I want you to believe what's good for you, what fills you up, what fuels you, what makes you have moments of peace and happiness and joy. Right? And this personality typing with a spiritual understanding, this touches every aspect of your life. I'm talking about travel right now because so many people are traveling. And with all the new regulations and everything that's going out there and all the stuff that's going on, traveling is only going to get more complicated. So my best advice to you is to know who you are and even what you're willing to put up with. Some people aren't going to be happy sitting somewhere with a mask on the whole time. Others will. It depends on your personality type. It all depends. So when you see your partner and you start conflicting, where's the trigger? Start pausing, taking the moment. And this is harder for extroverts than it is for introverts. Introverts kind of live in this space. They're very in tune in general. Okay, I don't want to generalize or stereotype, but they're more in tune with what's going on. They're more reflective. They just have this innate way of processing inwardly more so than extroverts. So this can be a little bit harder for exercise for extroverts, but you need to stop and pause and say, okay, what's this all about? Is it something I'm expressing to my partner that they need to do, when in reality, it's something in me that I need to look at and start growing and start seeing it as, this could be my problem to solve. Or this could be my issue to explore. This could be my time for my soul to evolve, to grow, to become a better me. So sometimes when we're looking at our partner and we're blaming them, or we're going, oh my God, you do this all the time to me. If it's happening all the time, there's some friction there, and there's some things that need to be dissolved. Now, I'm not saying it's always about you and you need to improve, but if you start looking at it like that, and you start seeing the issue for what it really is, and always, if you're in a relationship, it takes two people. That's why relationships are so great, because they're just this mirror to teach you all the time. You're always learning. Look in the mirror. You're always learning. Look in the mirror. That's what's so profound about relationships. You're in the earth school, and all your relationships are the teachers from your earth school. So they're here to teach you something. So instead of hard charging each other, step back and try to have a calm conversation about it. Now, at the time when I had my pack my bags, I'm divorcing your ass conversation, I didn't know who I was. So I felt like I was being attacked. Right? I thought, oh my God, why does this person do this? Oh, blame, outside. I was looking for answers outside. And the answers were within me, because I didn't know who I was. So I didn't know how to handle the situation. So my personality type, I just get angry and go off. What does that solve? Absolutely nothing. So these are these moments when we travel, and we have to take some responsibility, right? And looking inward and saying, okay, what part am I playing in this? I'm telling you, when you start getting to the center of who you are, that true self, the truth of who you are, through your personality type, you'll start experiencing soul-inspired moments. You'll take divinely inspired actions. They're driven by divine intelligence. That's the way I want to live. I want to drop the fear and the ego and the perfectionism of, oh my God, I'm on this romantic getaway. Everything has to be perfect. We're going to sip champagne. We're going to sit in the hot tub. We're going to hold hands. We're going to look into each other's eyes. We're going to have sex 24/7. That might happen, but it's rare. I've talked to hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people on vacation. Why? Because I was a PR person, and part of my job was to go ask our guests, what can we do better? Where are we faltering? Where can we improve? And I would ask the questions. How's things here? I don't like the buffet. The sheets suck. The beach should be cleaner. Too many kids. On and on and on, which I get, right? You're on vacation. You want everything perfect, which is never going to happen. So you start bitching about shit. But then since I am an ENTP, I'm a curious type, I just keep on asking. Like, I'm like a dog with a bone. I'm like, what else? What else? What else? And then the true answers would come. They don't understand me. I don't want to be dragged from one place to another. That's not fun for me. Why do I want to sit by the pool all day? This is not the vacation I signed up for. Why am I going back to the same resort? Why do they keep on picking the same stuff? And it's so patterned, it's so routine. I don't like it. I want to be out exploring. So all these differences started to roll up on the beach like seashells. They just come tumbling in, right? Like seashells on the beach. They're all different. It's because you didn't take the time as a couple to really explore your personality traits, to see where you will have conflict, or to see how you can come together and take a vacation together as a partnered couple. As a couple can be compassionate for one another, to accept each other's traits. Because I'm telling you, once you accept your own traits and your own vulnerabilities and your own weaknesses, it's so much easier to accept your partners, because you'll start to realize when you look out in the world, we all have that. We all have the same stuff. We're human beings. So here's where the idea of the spiritual personality comes from. But it's layered into everything you do, like travel. But as a human, you have that logical aspect of yourself, that human that lives in the physical world, which is full of ego and fear, okay? And it's very dualistic. Then you have your being aspect, I call your beingness, which is multisensory. If you let it, you will connect into your higher self, which your higher self allows you to have beautiful conversations with divine design, with divine intelligence. So you get that multisensory thing. So as the two come together, praying hands, I love praying hands, you know I love praying hands. You become this beautiful human being that you're using all of the benefits from the physical world and all of the benefits from that multisensory place, your spiritual world, and you express that out into the world. So you express yourself and experience yourself from divine action, from divine intelligence. That's the well that you go to. You don't go to the well of fear or conditioning, ego conditioning anymore. You do, but you recognize it and you dip out of it. That's ego in the physical world. That's your earth school. So you're always learning. So there's always going to teachers, always going to present. You're going to learn something, another teacher's going to present. You're going to learn something else. This is why we're here. So when you're on vacation and you're leaning into one of those couple fights, step back and say, what do I need to learn? What is my partner trying to tell me? What is my partner trying to teach me? I know it is easier when you have a willing partner, I will admit. And if you don't have a willing partner, do it for yourself. Because once you become better, everything around you improves. Everything. Because you raise your energy level. You're coming from a love energy. And you raise everybody else's level. I mean, that's what I call spiritual technology, right? You're all energy. Love energy is a higher energy. It's just how it works. It's spiritual technology. I know, it's really cool, right? So when you're on vacation and you feel yourself, even if you're triggered by like a vendor or a cab driver that's going too slow or whatever the case is, just sit back and go, let it trigger you if possible. I know this is not easy, but let it trigger you and see what comes up for you. See what you're feeling. Why are you angry? I'm going to tell you, it's connected for something that you've believed is your belief, either from childhood, an old relationship, from a business associate, from a peer that you just adored. You know? But remember, they're all human too. They're all going through their stuff. That's what I'm saying. Nothing is perfect. Them or you. So there's always room for improvement. Always. So when you're traveling this summer, try to let the triggers and maybe the frustrations help you to grow and transform yourself. The blog is loaded with a lot of stuff. There's tips on there. There's some ideas on there for traveling, based on traits and so forth. I went into a couple of traits. I went into all the traits and said, can you see how this would help? If you're a sensing type versus an intuitive type, if you're a thinking type, or a thinking trait, traits. I'm talking about traits here. If you have judging versus perceiving traits, if you're an introvert, extrovert, I listed all those traits and their opposites, and then the effect they can have on you while you're vacationing. And even if you just get that and read that and know that going in when you travel, you're going to travel different. I guarantee it. Because you already created awareness. You've already created an awareness. And the cool thing is, once you know it, and then once you experience it, That's where the genuine change comes from, through that experience. Knowledge is great. Knowledge doesn't change nor add value until you experience it. It's like reading a romance novel, right? It's like, oh, this novel is so juicy. Oh my God, that love. I want that love. Well, until you experience it, you're going to keep on wanting it, which means you're lacking it. So you got to experience it, because once you experience it, you have it. It's now something within you that you've experienced. Make sense? If you have any questions or anything, put a comment below. I'd love to answer your questions. You know, if you are going on vacation and you think, gosh, I think me and my partner, we can maybe use just a soul session where we at least identify our personality and then our traits and how we react to each other on vacation. I'm here to do that too. I did it for it was friends. It was a couple of friends. They were going on vacation, and they were like, oh my God, this was like, I was so much more compassionate because I had such a deeper understanding. I had an awareness. So once you have that awareness, it does help. But anyhow, guys, this is a long one. Sorry, you know me. I always go deep and I just go footer out everywhere. But if you're going on vacation this year, enjoy yourself. It's a great time to be just in this beautiful space of you, enjoying who you are, getting to know yourself better, having those personal growth moments, and just really having those moments of stillness. You don't need to do the top 10 lists, okay? You don't need to do all that. Create a vacation based on your dreams and desires. You'll enjoy it so much more. Anyhow, I'll talk to y'all soon. Happy Type Talk Tuesday. We'll see you next Tuesday. In the meantime, if you have any questions, gosh, I'm on Instagram at Nina Zapala. I'm at LinkedIn. It's the Soul's Role in Personality Typing on LinkedIn. Gosh, my blog, put a comment in my blog. You know, I'm just, you'll find me. I'm everywhere. All for now. Happy Type Talk Tuesday. We'll see you next week. Enjoy your vacation and be safe.